Well, I only have 10 minutes, so I can't say much about MATIS, but we're a research and development company in Iceland, owned by the government, about 110 people, and we really operate around the bioeconomy. Food and biotech is really our core business. But it's great to be here today. Unfortunately, I have to leave around 4, so I hope we can get this panel done on time, around 4:10 maybe. But we wanted to give you a little overview of the Nordic Bioeconomy panel and what our plans are for the future, and I chair this panel. So the first question is, why do we have a bioeconomy panel, a Nordic common bioeconomy panel? And it all started with Nordbio, which is a 3-year program initiated under the Icelandic chairmanship of the Nordic Councils of Ministers in 2014. And in the original mandate of Nordbio, it was decided to establish a Nordic Policy and Strategy Forum for the Nordic bioeconomy, which is what we call the Nordic Bioeconomy Panel. And this is a formal policy and strategy forum set by the Ministers of Cooperation. This happened in May 2015. And it's appointed for 2 years until the end of 2017 with the possibility of an extension. And what we expect to do through the Bioeconomy Panel is to stimulate and coordinate the Nordic cooperation on the bioeconomy policy area, as well as expanding the international cooperation on the bioeconomy. So the work of the panel should be seen in context of the work of other relevant bioeconomy policy advisory bodies inside and outside the region. So we're not replacing any national policies. This is in addition, and also facilitating getting things done on both national and a regional level in the Scandinavian countries. So we're a diverse group of people. We have members from each of the Scandinavian countries. We met a few times. And then we also have Nordic representatives from the past and the current European Bioeconomy Panel. And then we also invite people from different bodies, both academia, industry, government, and institutes. So it's a very diverse group that's putting together this particular strategy. So our main job, really, I'm actually going to come to the main job a little bit later, because I'm going to skip this slide because of time constraints. But what we're really aiming at is we want to increase food security in the Scandinavian countries and globally as well. We're not just thinking Scandinavia. We want sustainable resource management, and we want to reduce waste. We want to reduce dependency on, of course, non-renewable resources, the fossil fuels, which is the original basis of the bioeconomy. We want to tackle climate change. We want to improve the health and well-being of our citizens. We, of course, want to create more jobs and economic growth, and we're also thinking this in the regional level. We want to strengthen the regions. We want to maintain and improve the competitiveness of the Nordic countries, and we want to create new, sustainable, and profitable product services and develop new markets for the Nordic countries. And then we also want to enhance research and innovation when it comes to the bioeconomy. And we've actually already, if you look at various different programs that we had in Scandinavia, there's already been invested about 43 million, or over 43 million euros in various different bioeconomy-related programs. But we need much more. We need to bring in private investments, and we really need to involve industry as well, much more than we're doing currently. So the aim of the Nordic Bioeconomy Initiative is quite simple. It's sustainable production and use of natural resources, and also a cross-sectorial and systematic approach with a basis in the circular economy. And these are really the hallmarks of the Nordic Councils of Ministers initiatives within the bioeconomy. So back to the panel, kind of our job and objectives of the panel is to contribute to a sustainable transformation towards the bioeconomy in the Nordic countries, and of course to stimulate innovation in the Nordic countries when it comes to bioeconomy. And we want to explore and expose the potential of the Nordic region to really take a global lead in the field of sustainable production and utilization of bioresources, with the goal and purpose of enhancing both the competitiveness and sustainability in the Nordic countries. And we believe this can happen through a joint Nordic bioeconomy strategy by including new cross-sectorial knowledge and by contributing to the Nordic countries and relevant Nordic and international forums regarding innovative thinking and solutions to the challenges of the countries that the countries are facing in relation to the bioeconomy and the green transition. So it's quite a big task, of course. So the way we work at the panel, we have we're actually assigned tasks that are set up in a concrete 2-year project plan, And the aim of the plan is to make a framework how to realize the mandate of the panel in a coherent and efficient way. And we have 4 pillars that link together, the 4 different tasks in the mandate to ensure a transparent and constructive process with valuable outputs. So the first and the most important thing is we're assigned to compose the joint Nordic strategy in the field of bioeconomy. And the strategy should contribute to a sustainable transformation towards the bioeconomy in the Nordic countries from a cross-sectorial approach. And we also want the strategy to influence the international and European agenda on the bioeconomy and support the Nordic region as a whole. And the strategy itself must include initiatives when it comes to agriculture, forestry, fisheries, manufacturing and consumption, but also capture and hunting, which is a little unique maybe for our region. The goal is to then deliver this strategy at the end of 2017. So we hope to have it done in about a year. We also then want to put together what we call a best cases catalog of the Nordic Bioeconomy Initiative. And so these are concrete examples of success stories in the Scandinavian countries. And this is actually our first task, because to put together a new Nordic strategy, it's best done by generating knowledge about the many excellent and inspirational cases that we have in the Nordic countries. And this work is already well on its way, and we're working now on a catalog with 25 excellent Nordic cases, which we'll present at our upcoming stakeholder conference, which will be held in January this year. So we hope this will be an inspirational document for all and helping us really shape the strategy. And then we have a networking role. It's an important role of the panel. We want to, of course, get the message out, not just in Scandinavia, but also to Europe, to the international community. And it's very important also to influence, of course, the policymakers, so we can make something happen in the bioeconomy. And one of our actions is the stakeholder conference, which I told you about, on January 19th. And this will involve 75 external stakeholders to prioritize and identify Nordic added value and Nordic potentials, and provide insights and input for us so we can develop the strategy. And then we will have an outreach strategy as well, which is important to influence national and local policies, as I said before, in the Nordic countries, as well as internationally and in Europe. So that's a little bit about the panel. Now, I was also told to talk about what we're doing in Iceland. We're actually we just finished a policy for Iceland. So in 2015, the government asked the Minister of Fisheries and Agriculture to develop a bioeconomy strategy for Iceland. And the aim was to promote sustainable development in Icelandic industries based on using biological resources in collaboration with the traditional industries like fisheries, agriculture, and food processing. And we put together a special task force, which was led by MATIS, my institute or company. And the process included a very broad and extensive consultation with many different stakeholders connected to the bioeconomy. And we also looked at the other countries, what they've been doing. So the picture here, which might be difficult to read, it's actually an interactive picture. You can click on each of these boxes, and you can get more information about the strategy and what we aim to accomplish. But it breaks down to the blue bioeconomy, very important for Iceland, Icelandic priorities and strength. Then we have international cooperation in new markets. Then we have underutilized resources, interdisciplinary opportunities in that area. Then we have technical development and build-up of human resources. And then regional development and strong infrastructures. And then we have public and private investments, which we think is very important, is to really boost investment in the bioeconomy. And the strategy aims at identifying the opportunities for increased capital gain within all these industries. And as you can imagine, the strategy takes into account the unique position Iceland has when it comes to its geographical position and our reputation in utilizing our rich fishing grounds in a sustainable way and developing an effective and highly technological fishing industry. So it's very blue bioeconomy heavy, but it's also very regional heavy. And now it's will be in the hands of the new government, which we hope to get in the next few weeks. So it's not published yet, but it's ready, basically. And very briefly, at the end, we do also, you may know of the West-nordic panel. This is a panel between Greenland, Faroes, and Iceland. And really the goal of the panel is to identify common key issues of importance for the West-Nordic region. And it has kind of similar themes as the Icelandic policy. So there are a lot of panels and a lot of different policies being made in the different countries, because the different regions will have different emphasis and different priorities. So that's briefly for me. Thank you very much.